Hello everyone, myself Khadija Farah. I work in the backend department of Chakraborty and Lahkar Innovations Private Limited and would like to present to you the Julia programming tutorials. So let's get started. Hi everyone, so in this video we are going to make an email tracking application. So what this application will do is that you will be logging into the application, so your details will get stored in the database. But if the same person tries to log in again, its count will get increased. Otherwise, count will be 1. So we are going to make this application from the start, from the scratch. So let's get started. So first, we'll create an entire new application for this. So using Genie, I'll name my application something like new app underscore MVC of email counter. Okay. So our app is getting installed. So it's almost getting downloaded. Okay, now I'm going to choose SQLite as my backend DB. So our app has got installed. Now I will create a new module. So that is genie.new resource of. I'll name my module as mail. I'll name my resource as mail. So I'm creating a new resource named mail. So that is also done now. Okay, now we'll open the code using VS Code and we'll create variables inside the model for email, name and whatever details you want. For now I'm just I'll be tracking the count using email. Of course, that is the whole aim of the application. Whoever tries to log in with the same email ID, its count will get increased by how much ever times he tries to log in. So yeah, in addition to that, and then we should have a variable count for calculating the count, like how many times a person has logged in. And then I'll just add an extra additional variable like name. Okay, so open folder, email counter. Okay, so in our resource you can see the new resource which we have made. It's called mails. Okay, now I'll open that module. Okay, inside this my first variable shall be count. It is of type integer and its initial value is 0. Next will be email, which is of type string, which is equal to null. Next, an additional variable that I'm giving, its name of the person who is logging in. It's of type string and its initial value is null. So yes, I have created all the variables. So I have to make similar changes in the table. So once you created the resource, the table file got automatically added to your folder. So this is the format. So count, it's of type int, and then I have email, which is of type string, and then I have a name, which is of type string again. Okay, we don't need these two, so you can completely ignore. Okay, now save this file, save both the files. So we have created the variables in the module and we have made the similar changes in the table also. Yes, so that's done. Now you have to go to the routes. So in routes, you can write using genie.request also. Okay. Now we are creating a new route. I am naming the route name as mail count. Okay. Now do. Okay. So now here inside the route, I'm going to define the anonymous function that I want to do. So in the URL, I will be giving the name and the email. So the compiler will take the route will extract the name and email which I have given in the URL, and it will check if it is already there in the DB. If it is there, count will get increased. If it is not there, count is 1. So count is something done by our code. Email and name is something which we are giving in the URL. So I am just writing A is equal to payload of name. So in the URL, I'll be giving name is equal to this name is equal to something, so that I will extract from the URL and store it in A. Okay, and it will be in string format only. So yes, name will be in string format because whatever payload will give you will be in string format, and I want it in string format itself, so that is fine. I don't have to parse it and all. Then email. So in the URL, I'll be giving email is equal to something. So extract whatever I'm giving inside email and store it in B. Now next step is very important. Is C, some variable C is equal to find one of. So find one is a function used to check if it already exists. So if it already exists where? In my module. Okay. In my model. So my model name is mail. So if it already exists in my model, then what to do? That is what I'm checking. So what are we checking is there in my model is the email. So in mail, that is my model, if there exists an email which is equal to what is there in B, so that is what C will do. So in my model mail, if there exists an email which is there in B, then what to do? So if is nothing of C. Okay. So if there doesn't exist an email like what I have in B, what I have got from URL, if there is not an email like that, then I will just I'll just save these details. So C is equal to mail of, I have to store both name and email, right? So name is equal to A and email is equal to B. So this name and email is something that is there in my model. So yes, now save of C. sorry, small c. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm checking in this variable c, I'm checking if there exists an email like what I've got from the URL, which is I have stored in B. So if there exists something like that, what I have to do is c dot count is equal to c dot count plus 1. Its count will be already there as 1 if it is already existing in our table. So that count is equal to that count plus 1, plus one more time. But if it doesn't exist there in my table, then get all the information that I've got from URL, that is name and email, and save it in my database. So this count also I have to save in my database. Okay, yes. So, and also I have to mention count. Count is 1. If it is, if that person is logging in for the first time, its count will be 1 and all the information will be stored. If it's already there, then you just have to increase the count variable alone and store that particular variable in the table. So just that count variable will be updated because all the other information is already there in the table. Now end this and the route also. And yes, there is a potential mistake here. I didn't write using the module name. Okay, so using module. Okay, now hopefully this will work. We'll see. So first and foremost thing, we have to run our bootstrap file. So that is all about email tracking application. We'll see if this works totally fine and if there is any error. Run every line in the bootstrap, run the code in bootstrap file line by line. Okay, so our app is ready now. So now I'll just write up off. Okay, it is runnable. Now what I have to do is I have to up Searchlight. I'm using Searchlight, and then I have to create the table of tables, which is the migration table. So search, because I have just created, like in this video only I have created this application. So when you're doing something for the first time, when you're creating your application for the first time and trying to run the database, you have to first create the table of tables, which is searchlight.migrations.create underscore migrations underscore table of. Okay, yes, now we have done with that. Now we will create our table. So searchlight dot migrations dot up of, the table name is here, so I'm just copy pasting it here. Okay, so I've created my table also. Now okay, we have run the app, created table, and now I'll run everything in routes line by line, and we'll see if this works totally fine. Okay, now I have run the routes file also. Now I'll go here and see if my app is running. Okay, so our app is running totally fine. Now, okay, my route name is mail count, so I'm giving mail count question mark, and I'll give name is equal to something like ABC, and email is equal to, so whenever you're giving mail and email, check if that is the same name you have given inside payload. Only then it will extract and store it in the particular variables we have defined in the route. So name is equal to ABC, email is equal to abc@gmail.com. Okay, we'll see if this works. Yes. So that worked. Now to see your extracted data, you just write find of your model name. So if you write that, you can see whatever information you have given in the URL got extracted, and we got it stored in our DB. So the email is abc@gmail.com, and okay, this is the primary key. This is the name of the person who have logged in, and this is the number of times he has logged in, because this is the first time I'm giving email, so it's the first time that person is logging in, so that's fine. Now if I run this again, so that same person with the same email ID is logging in again. So now we will see what this will print. See, it is showing count 2 because he tried to log in 2 times. The last time was the second time he tried to log in, so the number of times he logged in into the application is 2. Now I will give, so I will give another name and another email ID. So now it says ABC tried login 2 times, and now a new user comes, and this is that user's mail ID and this is that user's name, and he logged in only once. So this is our email tracking application. You can try it by yourself and check it out. Thank you.